this month, I thought I would conclude this series with a particular kind of relationship. A few weeks ago, I talked about lustationships. And I was working on this, and I didn't really know, I hadn't developed a title for it yet. And the title came to me on Wednesday night, because we had a really good Bible study on Wednesday night, y'all. We had a really good Bible study, and so many great points were made, and I was taking notes. But something was said by Brother Darren. He talked about feelings. And it grabbed me. I said, feelings? Oh, feelings. Y'all remember that song from the 70s? Y'all remember that? But I said, feelings. And I began to look up what feelings are. And there was multiple definitions for feelings. But two of them that grabbed me was, one is feelings, an emotional state or reaction. An emotional state or reaction. We've all had feelings. You have feelings of joy. How many of you had feelings of joy when you were a kid and you knew you were going to get candy or ice cream? Matter of fact, there was something that elicited joy out of you every time. There was this magic sound of this truck that went down the street.
Amen.
And y'all lose your natural mind. Ice cream man! How many of you remember the ice cream truck when it came down the street? And y'all would try to find some money and be chasing him, and it'd be the guy that he'd be going just fast enough to make you chase a little bit faster, and he'd be laughing, you know. But you would lose your mind, or if you heard you were going to go to McDonald's, because back in the day, McDonald's was a treat. Now I know y'all go all the time, but I remember when McDonald's wasn't like that when I was growing up. So when you went to McDonald's, it was something to behold. Because normally your mom would be like, you don't need to go to McDonald's, I'll make you a burger. I'm like, oh, I want that today, Mama. That's that thick burger on bread, on Wonder Bread. I want a McDonald's patty. Hey, man, y'all remember that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, y'all know, because your mama, the patty be all oblong and not even perfect shape and everything. You know, Mama, that's a steak, ain't no hamburger. And so it was a sense of joy. If you heard you were going to the music park, Cedar Point, Kings Island, Disney World, whatever, the county fair. You know, you were excited. It elicited emotions, feelings. Then the second definition said, feelings are an opinion based more on emotion than on reason. An opinion based more on emotion than reason. In other words, it may not be the wisest thing, but you feel like it, so it's like it's good at that moment. That's what I'm after. And so I have to say, feelings, they aren't bad. God wired us with feelings. Now, I don't want you to walk away from this saying feelings are bad, must be unemotional, and not show any feelings. Some people don't know how to feel or not how to express their feelings. And that's dangerous. But feelings must be reined in. And listen, get this. Feelings cannot be and must not be the primary source for our decision making.
Yes, sir.
Amen?
Amen.
Well, you know, the world said, if it feels good, do it. That's foolishness, because some things feel good for the moment, then cost you your life. Matter of fact, from what I understand, I've never tried it, but people who've done heroin says it is the greatest high ever.
Wow.
They say they take it and it feels great. So based on the world's philosophy, it feels great, continue to do it.
Right.
But how many of you all know that heroin can kill you?
That's right.
And we've seen throughout the ages, and we've seen just recently the actor Phil Hoffman passed away. When they said they went in his apartment, the man was planting a heroin binge, they said. He said they found like 40 different bags of heroin in his apartment.
Oh, my God.
So it felt good for him, but he didn't rein it in. He didn't know how to control it. So feelings are not bad, but we must not be led by our feelings.
That's right.
So today's title, as I close our relationship series, I want to talk about fool-lationships. We had lustationships, now we're going to talk about fool-lationships.
All right.
Let me define fool-lationships for you. Fool-lationships are when our feelings order our lives in relationships. When our feelings order and dictate our lives in relationships, that's a fool-stationship. Because your feelings can change based on many various circumstances. Your feelings change based on how much sleep you had. How many feel when you don't have enough sleep, you're kind of groggy, or maybe you're a little irritable? I can tell, and that's my family can tell when I'm really sleepy.
Yes.
They know when I have not had my nap. Amen?
Like a baby.
And I don't want others to be like that. Some of y'all are the same way. Y'all don't get enough sleep, or too much sleep, it messes you up. Your biorhythm is off. Some of you all, depending on what time of the month it is, your feelings change. Amen. Amen. Come on now, help me out now. Man, don't be afraid of her. Go ahead and say amen. Amen. Mr. Joy, look at Brother Dave. You say if you want to. Don't you be a fool. There are a lot of different factors. And here's the thing. Like the old song said, everybody
plays the fool.
Plays the fool at some point in relationships and marriage. Everybody plays a fool at some point. Yeah. You've been a fool. How many of y'all been a fool in a relationship before? How many of y'all a fool? No, don't say that now. I don't want you to stop like, you a fool now, with me. We've all played the fool at some point in the relationships. No exception to the rule. It may be factual, and it may be cruel.
Yes.
But turn to your neighbor and say, you sure enough played the fool. I said played. I ain't say playing. I said you played the fool. What you meant was you played the fool before you met me. Tell them that. Tell them that.
Right, disclaimer.
So today I want to look at, since foolishness is an equal opportunity employer, I'm going to look at foolishness from two perspectives. From a single perspective and from a married perspective. Okay. Amen. So I don't want the singles walking out talking about, well, he out calling the singles fool all the time. I'm not calling you a fool. I'm saying when our feelings have dictated what we've done, it leads to foolishness. I'm not saying feelings are always wrong in a relationship. Because I feel in love with my wife at times. But there are times I don't feel in love with her, but doesn't mean I don't love her and we don't stay together and work through it. Amen? Amen. So I can't just say, well, today I don't feel in love with you, I'm going to file for divorce. That don't make sense.
No, none.
All right, move right along. Okay, our first example of a fool relationship starts in Judges chapter 14, beginning in verse 1. It says this. One day, when Samson was in Timnah, one of the Philistine women caught his eye. When he returned home, he told his father and his mother, a young Philistine woman in Timnah caught my eye. I want to marry her. Get her for me. Excuse me, Samson. Single example of foolishness. Here's the first example of this. Samson let his feelings toward outward appearances override the need for internal virtue. See, when we walk by feelings, a lot of times we're moved by what we see. And what we see is not always gold. It looks like gold, but there's a thing called fool's gold. And some folk been in a relationship with people who turn out to be fool's gold. Well, they look good on the outside. But once you get to know them, you find out they were narcissistic, they were vain, they were crazy, they were vain, they were crazy, they were really crazy. Amen. Amen. Not y'all, but how many of y'all know some people who dated some people who was crazy? Amen. Amen. They had all kind of issues. They were liars, manipulators, cheaters, thieves, all these different things. But Samson is an example to all of us to be careful to measure things. So the Bible said man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. We have to be careful because there are people who are in relationships right now and worse yet, who's married simply based on outward appearance. He was so fine. Girl, you know he bow-legged. Back in the day, I don't know if that's the case now. Maybe it's stupid now. Back in the day, when we were in love with some bow-legged guys.
I remember girls saying that.
Hey, remember, y'all remember that?
I do.
That's the first. How he look? He bow-legged. Oh, girl, he bow-legged. He broke a leg. That's all. He ain't bow-legged. He's faking. I had a family member who used to fake bow-leggedness all the time. We would laugh. They walk around kind of bow-legged. And we'd be like, dude, you know you slew-footed. You have to work hard to do that. Now it's slew-footed because everybody walks around like penguins. Well, their pants hang down. That's your man. But outward appearance. Samson is an example of that you got to be careful. So you got to measure people based on what's on the inside. Don't get it twisted. Outward appearance attracts us.
Amen.
If you going on a blind date with somebody, what's the first question you ask?
Is he cute?
They're like, is he virtuous? Is she a Proverbs 31? That's second. But you want to know, is she cute? I don't care how Proverbs 31 she is. If you feel like she's not at your level of cuteness or he's at your level of cuteness, because we all have different levels, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so you feel like, hey, that I can deal with that, but no, they didn't meet the standard. No, I can't go out like that. So outward appearance does play a role, and your feelings toward that. But you can't let that be the deciding factor.
That's right.
You're going to have more than that. And Samson was a man who was driven by feelings. If you read Samson's life, Samson did whatever he felt like.
Amen.
Samson just rolled in the morning, I feel like doing this, I'm going to go do it. And that's how some of us are. As singles, you got to be careful.
Right. You do.
Because you'll make a decision based on an outward appearance.
Yep.
And after the fact, you find out the inner virtues were not there that you needed. So that was first thing with Samson. He made a decision based on outward appearance. Then look at chapter 16, verse 1. It says this, one day, Samson went to the Philistine town of Gaza and spent the night with a prostitute. One night, he just got in the car, he was just cruising in his chariot, rolling down the road, you know, hollering at people, psh, you know. And he found himself in the wrong side of town. And he just drive through, and he seen this girl. He seen her. He seen her, and again, outward appearance, he looked at her, and she had it working. And he didn't know that she got paid to work it.
Right.
But he had a little money in his pocket. He said, I can make it rain tonight. So, yeah, see, that's the mentality, the culture we have. Let's face it. It is. It is. It is. Got a little money in my pocket, you know, and she's down with that. So he hooked up with her for the night. This is the second mistake he made when it comes to feelings or relationships. He let the feelings of his sex drive lead him to consistently seek ungodly women. He could not control it. He felt like if it feels good, then do it. And that's what the world tells us. Man, every movie, every song tells you if it feels good, do it. If she can twerk it, you can work it. That's the mindset of the culture that we live in. You know, matter of fact, there's a new rage that is so sickening and blew my mind when I heard about it and saw it on Facebook now. For profile pictures, the new selfies. You know the selfies will first take a picture in the mirror. Then we'll take a picture in the mirror with your shirt off. Now take a picture in the mirror with your shirt off and your pants pulled down, not all the way down, but just enough so your pubic hair shows. That is the new rage for a lot of young people on Facebook. Sickening, disgusting. But their feeling is, I'm here, I'm a sexual being, don't repress me. I got to express my sexuality. Nothing wrong with sexuality in the right context. God gave you sexuality, amen? That's right. Hey, say amen, it's all right, it ain't dirty. Ain't dirty. But when it's perverted, right. And he let his sex drive consistently drive from the ungodly women. What is it about some people that just love ungodly people? Love thugs. Mm-hmm. Love crazy chicks. If she ain't busted out somebody's window, you don't want to date her. I don't understand that. I mean, if I'm dating you nowadays, I told you, I would pull a credit report and
I know that's
reports.
Right.
I want to know if your credit jacked up. You're going to mess me up. But secondly, are you really going to mess me up? Because you might shoot me, bust my car, windows out, the tires out. Some folks like to, the weekend, they like to get locked up. They like the Andy Griffith show. Remember the wino on Andy Griffith? He would lock himself up. It's the weekend. Otis. Some of them got that Otis spirit on them. And it ain't just guys. It's girls now who been locked up and they hardcore. Don't even bother them. I told you I don't understand that. I can't do 20 minutes worth of being locked up. I'd be suffocating. Unless it's for righteousness' sake. If I got locked up for that, that's one thing. But who wants to date somebody like that? But Samson, his sex drive was constantly. He was like, I don't want no church girl. I don't want no guy from holiness. No. I want somebody who out there who can do everything that I want them to do. And that was selfish feelings. He looked around. He hung out. Matter of fact, he didn't have to look hard because everywhere he hung out, if you look at his life, he always went to where the sinners were.